when we say immigrants and the success, what do we really include there? What are the recipes? What are the items which will be able to help us when we transition to new countries and be able to survive? Some other people usually get frustrated or confused. Let's say you are from Nigeria and you are here in the United States, and your relative or some of your friend is asking for a certain kind of help, and you say, I don't have money right now, or I don't have something right now. Someone is surprised, but you are in America, you are in Germany, why you don't have money? It's confusing for so many people. And someone maybe, you might have a relative who is sick, and you cannot be able to contribute because you don't have money. So there are so many things around that. There are people, let's say, you leave them in your country, you come here, they have different understanding or perception or expectation about you while you are here, and you are here already in these countries. You want to follow the journey of success. So are you going to define your success based on the realities and the real life of that particular country, or from the country you are coming from, country of origin? Or what is the medium you are going to say, this is what I'm planning to succeed? Because you might have a goal or understanding of success depending on how you define it before you come here. Like if I go to America, you have lived maybe for 30 years in Tanzania or in Kenya, and then you define, okay, for me in order to succeed, I need to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But once you come here, the things which you counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are they here? And will you be able to attain them here? Or are you going to be coming here and be trapped with the different realities and the understanding of the about the understanding of what we say American dream or the success? But why immigrants don't have money? Some people are asking that way. And why some of the immigrants have 2, 3 jobs? Why? But the same person, if you were in your home country, you don't have 2 jobs, you don't have 3 jobs, you have 1 job most likely, and you have a comfortable life. So I want to explain all these kind of things because people will be able to figure out all these kind of things and whether sometimes it is worth it to come to these countries or not. Because some people are asking questions. I have won the DV lottery, or I've got this one. Is it worth it for me to continue finding ways to go to Germany, to go to America, and go to maybe any country in Europe or in Canada? Is it worth it? Or should I just stay in my country? So all those questions are valid questions. We need to understand. We need to figure out as a group, but also most likely as individual, to be in a position to define, to be in a position to understand and make a clear cut so that you cannot be trapped into the realities. So, number 1, let us start with the average age of immigrants coming to these countries. In America, for instance, currently the average age of most of the immigrants is about from 26 to 35. But as the days are going on, is still growing a little bit. People are going around the age of 30. And that is not just for America. If you look about Canada, we have talked about pathways to go to Canada, express entry. We have talked about the merit-based immigration or point-based immigration system for Australia. New Zealand have those kind of ways. So if we look about merit-based immigration for other countries, you need to have maybe bachelor degree or master's degree or sometimes PhD, 5 to 10 years work experience. So if you look, majority of people of that particular, what will be the age of those people? Majority of them, they'll be 30 years and above. So you come here, let's say you are 30 years old, you have bachelor degree, you have 5, 10 years work experience in your own country already. You come here. The first thing you need to know is what ways are you using to come to these countries? Because the ways you used to come to these countries might have impact in one way or another on how the speed of success to you will look like. And this is something as immigrant you need to know. You don't, not just immigrant, but in overall life, each person has their own goals, have their own ways to attain those goals. One person this will have a very high speed and maybe come to America and succeed very, very quickly. Will depend on their conditions or the factors. Someone because maybe they have a good degree, maybe someone comes with the degree in science, another one is social science. That will differ. Another person comes depending on what type of visa you use to come to these countries. Will be able to determine those. It depends on the spirit of someone on the terms of hard working. Depends on the city or the state. There are so many factors. So don't come here and start comparing yourself with any other Americans or any other immigrants as competing on the speed. You can have desire to attain certain things like Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, but it doesn't mean that you have to compete in the same speed, exactly the same like their blueprint. You are coming from different background, you have your own ways. So it's not just like it's a sprint, you have to finish within 10 seconds. No. So for that particular case, number one is I've been saying is don't start comparing, okay, maybe EBM has been there for I'm going to be almost 13 years. I've been 13 years. Maybe he got a green card on many years. Maybe I'm giving an example at this number of years while he's in America. But another person can come from day one with a green card lottery. Another person decided maybe to come through working visa. Another one comes through student visa. So there are different ways someone is used to come. So we cannot have the same starting line just because you landed in New York. No. Doesn't mean that way. So number one thing is forget about comparing you and your success to any other immigrants in terms of their timeline. They have been in America. Someone can be here in America for a shorter time, can be able to succeed a lot of things, and those success are basing on their own goals and expectations, what they created for. But what are you going to have your own goals and your expectations? That is something you need to consider. So that's number one. Number two, when we are talking about the realities of immigrants and their success, the journey to success will also depend on what type of visa or what pathway have you used to come to those countries. Let's say if you apply for the express entry, you go to Canada, that means from day one you go there as permanent resident. If you come or you go to Canada, let's say as international student, your path will be different from someone who got express entry, because someone will start from day one as a green card holder. But for you, you will start as international student, maybe for PhD 4 years first, then to get work permit, then to come to get permanent resident. So for you, your permanent resident will take 5 years or 6 years to get it. Another person is getting from day one. The same way as in America. For instance, myself, I came as international scholar. I came here as a scholar for 1 year program. Then from 1 year program, I applied for master's, another year program. Then I got married. I was on OPT for 1 year. So the 3rd year, I got my green card. So it took 3 years basically, but I was not out of the status. I was all the time in the normal way. But another person, my nephew for instance, came day one in America as a green card holder because he won the green card lottery. So the path will be different. How much money I will be able to make per year as an international student will be different, because tuition fees will be covered if you have a scholarship, or if you are paying for yourself, you have to pay. Then as an international student, you are limited in number of hours to work. You are working about 20 hours per week. So that will be different from someone who comes as a green card holder, or someone who comes direct from day one as a H1 visa, as a working visa. Or if you're going to Australia, you're going to Canada, you are going as a skilled worker already with a job, working 40 hours per week as a full-time job. Your journey of success, the starting line will be different from someone coming as a tourist, someone comes as an international student. So that's why I said don't start comparing, oh, so-and-so has this type of car, has this type of house. They just studied for 3 years, they bought the house. The question is, what way this person used to come to those countries. So that is also different from one person to another. So the reality will also depend on the type of visa you are using or the pathway you are using to go to that particular country. That is very, very important. Now, you arrive in that particular country. It comes to the third part, or the third point. What is your end result? Why have you decided to get into the plane for whatever pathway you are using to come to these countries? What do you want to achieve? What is your overall objective? You come to America to do what? Yes, you say, I'm going to find a life. Some people can say that. Someone can say, I want to come to here to get good education, then go back to my home country. I'm going to visit Australia. I'm going to New Zealand. I'm going to Norway. I'm going to wherever. Then I'm going back to my home country. But another person will say, I want to make life in those countries. So if you want to make life in those countries, I usually tell people, you have to make a decision from the day you landed at the port of entry. If you are arriving at a particular country in Norway through Oslo airport, or from you arriving through Ottawa in Canada, or Chicago in the US through the state of Illinois, whatever the first airport you arrive in that particular country, you have to make a decision that I've come here purposely to succeed and I will stay here for the rest of my life, or I'm coming here, then I'll be able to go back to my home country. By making that decision, we'll be able to help you for further steps, because from day one, it will help you to define the resources. Meaning, let's say if I say, I want to stay here forever, that's the goal I come with. Meaning, I don't need to start, okay, I get it, $1,000, buy me a plot of land over there. Oh, maybe I have to travel every 6 months, I have to go to Tanzania. You see? Because my goal is to be here. It will define for me, it will help me to define the resources. It will help me to decide what type, if I want to go back to school or to get a certification, what type of certification do I need to have? Let's say you started maybe teaching, to become a teacher in your country, and maybe you're a teacher of English language, and you're a primary school teacher, and you come here as a primary school teacher. Are you able, was that your goal, but are you able to be here and teach English language to the English-born American English here or in Britain, and be able to have the same success, or what you're feeling like the same? So you need to know, if I have to continue as a teaching, what type of certification do I need to have? Or you might come here and say, no, I don't want to be a teacher, I want to become a nurse. What are the steps? So you have to decide to study, because if you say I want to come to study here, for instance, you come to America and you start to become CNA, certified nursing assistant, for instance, and then you are going to go back to your home country. CNA in America, you go back to your home country, is very small position. It's just like a diploma in nursing. Different from if you have a degree in nursing. So you have to decide what type of degree or what type of certification do I need if I want to stay here. If I'm going back to my home country, what degree, what education do I need to have if I have to go back to my home country? So that is something you need to know. Am I going to stay here or I'm going back? You can go back when you retire, but when I'm saying staying here, are you planning to stay in these countries for the next 20 years to come? That is the question you need to ask yourself. It will determine the course you are going to start. It will determine types of job are you looking. It will determine who are you hanging with, who will be your friends. Do you want to have more immigrant friends, or do you want to have also more friends who are the native of this particular country? Do you want to have friends if you are looking for engineering, architectural studies, friends in that particular field, or you're looking for friends even in sociology? So you need to know that kind of, to be having the reality. Then you come to these countries. You have to understand that when I'm coming here, I'm going to start from zero. This is very, very big.